What's going on, Boast Nation? Hope you all are having a wonderful Tuesday. It's been a little while since I put out a video like this where I'm just kind of commenting or highlighting what I feel is some hypocrisy and double standards when it comes to judging Coach Prime as a head football coach compared to other people throughout the college football landscape. And as I've been listening to more podcasts, as I've been reading what's been going on in the media and in the comments section of certain videos and articles and blogs, I cannot stay quiet any longer because I find some of this stuff hilarious. And what we do at David Talks Buffs is we highlight this, we bring it to light, because that's the only way we're going to grow as a society together. We got to eliminate the double standards. Now, let's get into this. How did this all start? Well, recently it had to do with the Charles Lester III recruitment. I was listening to a podcast from FSU. I think it's called like Double Fries or something like that. Double Fries, No Slaw, something like that. And they were saying how they weren't very nervous about the fact that Coach Prime was recruiting Charles Lester and that, he came out for a visit here or anything like that. But they made it almost seemed like a backhanding comment where they're talking about Coach Prime and they were saying Charles Lester, if they were in his shoes, regardless of whatever kind of Coach Prime turns out to be, you got to go visit him and whatnot because he's so great. But this is the issue that I have with this. People are still acting like this man hasn't been already coaching college football for 3 years. And I don't care what level you are at, what level you are coaching at. The same values, the same ingredients are needed to have a successful football program. You need discipline. You need accountability. You need quality coaching. You need honesty. You need a competitive environment, and you need talented players. Those are the markings of a good coach. If they're able to instill those values, bring in the right people, bring in the right talent from coaching and a player talent standpoint, that's going to put wins on the board. And that's exactly what Coach Prime has done during his time at the HBCU, FCS level, at Jackson State. And it's almost as if his success is used against him when kind of hedging your bets with how he's going to turn out as a college football coach at the FBS level. I mean, you just didn't see that. I mean, look at what Stanford's done. They have hired an FCS coach straight from FCS, Sacramento State, Troy Taylor. This man won big. He had a huge winning percentage over at Sacramento State, just like Coach Prime did at Jackson State. But when you look at what people are saying about Troy Taylor, it's all about, well, can he recruit at this level? How hindered is he going to be by Stanford's academic restrictions? And are they going to let go of some of those in order to have a competitive football program? But notice how nothing about Troy Taylor is about, can he coach? Does his offense translate to the FBS level? None of that. It's purely on coaching. But anything you ever hear about Coach Prime, it has to go with, well, he can't just bring in the best guys anymore because he's at the FCS level. But I mean, I've never seen a head coach that's at a G5 or a smaller FBS or an FCS or Division II level have his ability to recruit above their weight used against them. I mean, it's just mind-blowing. If anybody else was recruiting at Jackson State the way that Coach Prime did, I have a feeling that people would be speaking about this coach with very high expectations coming into the FBS level. And it's not like this hasn't been done before. You have North Dakota State coach coming over to Kansas State and having success immediately. I mean, should we talk about Jim Tressel with the success that he had over at Youngstown State, then becoming the coach at Ohio State and having tremendous amounts of success? I mean, can we talk about Jim Harbaugh getting his start at San Diego and then coming all the way up to Stanford and leading a successful program there? I mean, we're not even talking about high-level FBS, but again, Jim McElwain having big-time success at Colorado State, having success putting out winning teams a double-digit winning team at Florida. But again, then he had all the stuff with, allegedly him being naked on the boat and things like that, and it was cut short, and there's just a bunch of other drama off the field. But at the end of the day, it's like when these coaches at these lower levels have success, it isn't questioned as much their ability to coach. Mainly what you hear is, well, can they have the ability to recruit? Well, guess what? That's what Coach Prime excels at. I don't see a world in which he isn't successful as an FBS coach, and we need to stop talking about him like we're still trying to figure out if he's done enough to prove that he can coach football. I mean, and he was even coaching football. He was coaching at the high school ranks. And then, he's been coaching at the college ranks already. But let me tell you, if Coach Prime decided to stay long-term at Jackson State, there would be no doubt in my mind that Jackson State would be right up there with North Dakota State, always competing to be that top team in FCS. But the idea that Coach Prime just rode the coattails of the talent that he brought in really discredits the talented coaching staff that he's brought in and the leadership and values that he has led with and instilled in his team. It discredits that. It discredits his football mind. It discredits his Hall of Fame ability to understand the game. So I want to encourage you, Buffs fans, keep those receipts, because again, when we're looking at the data, when we take away the names, when we're taking away the whether they're a celebrity or Hall of Fame football player or not, when we're not looking at the color of the skin, if we're just looking at the results, Coach Prime is one of the most intriguing head coaches to ever come out of the FCS level, and we're blessed enough that we're going to be able to see how this pans out, over the next few years. But there is no way that this is going to be a failure. This man has always succeeded at everything that he has set out to do. And again, I want to get back to what makes a successful football team. You have to have talent in the coaching staff. You have to have talent with the players. But then you also have to instill the right values, discipline, accountability, hard work, honesty, a very competitive and professional culture. When you look at all the ingredients, there's nothing that gives concern of like, what can't this program do? People are just holding Coach Prime to a different standard because he's more outspoken than other college football coaches, or he's gone about his coaching in a little bit more of an unconventional manner throughout time, maybe than some people that have been an assistant coach for 20 years and then get their run. Maybe there's some sort of frustration or jealousy. And again, I've spoken about this on my channel over the last handful of months, and I'll continue to speak about it, but we're kidding ourselves. We live in America. Like, we are kidding ourselves if we don't believe that a portion of this criticism, it doesn't have to do with the biases against him that some people have against him as an outspoken black man. That's just my read on it, because it feels like they're just trying to find any sort of reason why he might not be successful. Oh, I also heard about this on the on that one podcast I was referencing to. They were talking about, well, does Coach Prime's surgeries have an effect on his ability to recruit? Come on, man. Come on. Really? Really? The man was out coaching on a scooter last year. He's going to be just fine. Nothing is going to stop this man. But it's just nitpicking, trying to find the way in which how they could see in which he could fail or not be successful here at Colorado. Because so many of these coaches that have come from lower levels, the big criticism has been, will they be able to recruit with the big dogs? Well, guess what? Coach Prime was already recruiting with the big dogs at the FCS level. So I want to know your thoughts on this, Buffs Nation. I'd appreciate it if you hit that like. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Consider subscribing as we're on our way to 3,000 subscribers before the season. And as always, go Buffs.